We are here in our garden. We call this our pasture garden. It's big, and we also just picked a rectangle and, oh, there's a really big hawk. Whoa. Literally squirrel. We picked a big rectangle in our pasture and we tilled it because we needed more growing space. So this is we call it our pasture garden. I'm going to give you a tour of what it looks like, everything we're growing, some of the varieties that we're growing, because I love to grow old heirloom plants. And we'll just kind of take it by here and just go over and over the summer and see what we're growing. Okay, we're just going to start on one side and go around. This is what we're growing the end of June, so it's June 26th. How everything's going. These are green beans. I grew a huge trellis of them last year, and it turns out we don't eat that many green beans, like an enormous amount of green beans. So I grew 7 plants. I made this little tiny bamboo trellis because we have bamboo for days, and we're just gonna eat them like for dinners here and there. If I can eat them twice a week for dinner, that's my goal. So green beans, these are Blue Lake green beans. Of course, zucchini squash, because this is like my impatient plant. So I get so impatient to grow food, that I put in a bunch of zucchini because that grows the fastest. And I want to eat something out of our garden so badly. So I'm also just gonna grow these little zucchini, just yellow zucchini squash, and they're so pretty. They're so pretty. And there was a bee in there, but it left. So zucchini. I have 3 yellow zucchini. I love the yellow. My little guy has some butternut squash here. This variety is Waltham, and I start a lot of my plants. I also buy a lot of my plants, like starts, and I'm totally fine with that. Because there's varieties that the ones I start I can't find anywhere, and that's why I start them. And then some random varieties I don't mind buying the starts. So more squash. On the other side, we started a couple of different varieties of pumpkins. And then you'll also see the cardboard mulch that we put down before the bark dust mulch, and that's a weed suppressant. So we do the cardboard, and then we do the bark dust, or bark chips right here, and then cover them, and that really helps take down weeds, because remember, this was just pasture. So we have a lot of weeds in this area that we have to fight against. So corn. Some awesome mammoth sunflower seeds that I put in, and these guys get so huge. So right now it's hard to tell, but they're like 3 feet tall, and they'll get easily like 10 feet tall. They're so cool. Tons of peppers. So I have little like poblano peppers and Tabasco peppers, and these guys are setting flowers. I don't want them to do that quite yet, so we'll take those off, actually prune those off. Jalapeno peppers, which I'm super excited about. So these are jalapeno peppers, but they don't have the heat. So they taste like a jalapeno, look like a jalapeno, but they don't have the heat of a jalapeno. So I can make little like stuffed peppers and stuff for my kids, and they're really good. Little sweet peppers down here, Sugar Rush peach hot peppers. Those are actually really happy and doing good. And then like Tabasco peppers. I have some lemon thyme right there that I'm kind of pushing out. These are the most amount of tomatoes we're growing this year. So these are San Marzano tomatoes. These are, I'm growing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, so about 22, which that's not true. I have like 10 more in the other garden. So I have like 30 plus San Marzano plants. And the goal of these is sauce tomatoes. So spaghetti sauce, tomato sauce, pizza sauce, salsa. That's why I have so many of them. So awesome little salsa sauce tomatoes. Over here we have tiny little Tabasco plants. I'm actually growing these for my brother who loves Tabasco sauce, and so I'm gonna recreate that for him. But Tabasco sauce, but organic Tabasco sauce and homemade Tabasco sauce. So that's my goal with these little guys. So I have 4 of those plants. Big, pretty artichoke, which are gonna get so huge, and German gibbered. And those are just gonna be really cool lawn ornaments, basically. Okay, my prize garden possessions, the dahlias. I have so many dahlias this year, and I'm so happy. They're at a couple different stages. These are like 3 weeks younger than these guys. All different colors. These go from like whites, purples, pinks and reds and oranges all the way down here. And they're just going to be gorgeous. And you'll just see as I do garden tours throughout the season that you'll see the difference in how enormous they're going to get. But they're pretty small right now. Really cool snapdragons, which I forgot the variety. There's 2 different options. There's like a night and day variety and another one I can't remember. So we'll see when they pop up which variety they are. But those are going to be really pretty. And then zinnias, like tons of zinnias all the way down here. My starts didn't do so well. So like that was one of my starts. I said I started earlier and then I had to start some by seeds. The rest are by seeds. Really pretty cosmos. I'll show you the cosmos. I got those from Florette, who's a flower grower in Washington, like very well known, because she's had like some work done with Magnolia, the Gaineses, and but these cosmos are insane, and I have so many that I'm growing. Aren't those gorgeous? Tons of tomato plants, more tomato plants. So these are different heirloom varieties, really cool varieties, and like really different colors and flavors and tastes. And these are for like slicers and for snacks. And then squash, mostly delicata squash, and I grow that for my auntie who absolutely loves it, and she's the one that introduced me to it, and so that's my ode to her, is a ton of delicata squash so she can have squash all year round. That's the goal. And then I also did some honey melon. I'm losing my mind. Honeydew melon on these. Melon doesn't do great in our climate, but I'm just gonna kind of see how it does. So that's the garden tour for the end of June. And we'll kind of see how things go on and grow, but eventually this will all just be huge. So that is our pasture garden, and I'll be updating that as summer goes on because it's gonna obviously grow so much and change so much. So I'm excited for you guys to see more. But that's it for today. See you on the next one.